Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. For installment Scott selections here for Monday, September 4th. For again today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in the WNBA with the Lynx -4.5 and -105 in BetMGM. Really just a terrible line by the odds makers. We faded the worst road team in arguably league history, and the Lynx won by double digits. Line went from -4.5 to I think -8, and they got there anyway. They won by double digits. A nice winner. Look for the winner here on Monday. And for today's play today, going to go back to the U.S. Open. Going to look at a matchup between Arnaldi and Alcaraz. And for this one, going to take the underdog here. Going to take Arnaldi plus 10.5 games at -140 on FanDuel. Time recording of 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the plus 10.5 here. First reason shopping around -140 is actually a pretty generous line. The same bet's available at -165 on BetMGM. So you're saving 25 cents just by shopping around. But we know Alcaraz is one of the best players in the world. He's probably going to face off against Djokovic in the final in the span of the next week. But the point is, Alcaraz, despite being a really, really good player in general, he's really not been great at covering big numbers recently, and he's not covered this line yet in the first three rounds of the U.S. Open. Now, I will admit that the first round ended early because Koepfer retired. He injured his ankle in the first game of the match, and Alcaraz kind of took control from there. But the point is, there was a bit of a fluke injury situation where the match ended early through a set and a half. But Alcaraz has not covered this number in each of the last two matches, and you're looking at his overall numbers on hard court since Wimbledon. He's won a lot of matches, but he's not exactly been overly impressive and dominant in those matches. Alcaraz has played 10 complete hard court matches since Wimbledon. He's lost at least one set in 8 of them, including losing a set to Evans in the last round. So once again, Alcaraz is winning, but he's not exactly dominating. And when you're going to have to win by 11 games or more, this line just feels very high based on his current form. Now, am I saying that Arnaldi is going to win? Absolutely not. I'm not picking Arnaldi to win the match. Might not even win a set. Having said that, I do think, once again, 10.5 is a really big line to give when you're looking at Arnaldi's recent form and you're looking at Alcaraz's tendency to get into some tricky situations more often than not as a massive favorite. I think this line's too high, and as a result, I'm going to go with the underdog here plus the games. But to go through the actual, I'd say, rest advantage for Arnaldi, one concern to run into at this point in tournament is how long the previous match was because you're worried about fatigue. Not so much with Arnaldi. He had a very easy win against Nori in the third round. Match only took 1 hour and 57 minutes. Alcaraz, though, actually was on the court for longer, an hour plus longer, as he went 4 sets with Evans, and that match took 3 hours and 11 minutes. I'm not saying that Alcaraz is going to be tired because of what happened, but I do think it's worth mentioning that Arnaldi did have the much easier match in the third round, and maybe some confidence might end up showing itself as a result. But looking at the actual team total for Arnaldi, this is kind of why I find this line fascinating. His personal team total for games is 9.5. And you're looking at the around what number he actually needs to get in order to go and cover this number. He basically needs around 9, even potentially 8 in one spot. If he loses 6-3, 6-3, 6-2, yeah, he gets buried. Pretty reasonable win for Alcaraz. And yet he still covers the line because if he loses 6-3, 6-3, 6-2, that's still plus 10. So once again, he still covers this number. But I think once again, when you're looking at this overall line, I know Alcaraz should be a massive favorite because he's arguably the best player in the world and Arnaldi's a relative unknown. But it's the 4th round of a Grand Slam, and Alcaraz has not covered this line yet in the tournament. I don't know why he would suddenly be able to dominate in this match and win by 11 or more games. Now, can he? Of course. He's Alcaraz, and we know that he can destroy anybody at any given time. I'll believe it when I see it, though. I think Arnaldi is going to go in there as a young player with nothing to lose. He's going to let it rip a little bit, and I think he might surprise Alcaraz and make it a pretty interesting set or two before probably getting blitzed in one of these. But simply put, I think 10.5 is too many games, and I'm going to go with the underdog. So once again, the play for today is going to be on Arnaldi, plus the 10.5 games at -140 on FanDuel. Bye, everyone.